What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so we're always hearing about how the dude down at the bottom always needs help. That's what the media laments to us almost on a daily basis, whether it's BSPN for the most part. I mean, they're shameless. Richard Jefferson, Kendrick Perkins, Malika Andrews, Shannon Sharp, you know, they're relentless. Then, of course, on fake sports, aka Fox Sports, you got Pelican nose, nope, nope, Dick wrong. You got Jason McIntyre. Sometimes you got Colin Cowherd. He goes back and forth with it. The usual suspects. LeBron, Ramon James needs help. We've been hearing that for like at least 15 years now. Okay. Well, I know plus minus isn't everything, but it does mean something. Usually, the most impactful player, and usually the best player, has the greatest plus minus on a team on any given night. Usually, over the course of a season, the best player has the best plus minus. Michael Jordan did. I'm pretty sure Magic and Kareem had the best plus minuses on their squad. But for some reason, even though we hear one thing from the media, the advanced metrics say another thing when it comes to LeBron Ramon James. This season, the player with the best plus minus on the Fakers is none other than D'Lo. Because the Fakers are what now? 16 and 13? So in 29 games, the Fakers are 16 and 13. D'Lo has a plus minus for the season of plus 43. LeBron Ramon James has by far the worst plus minus stat or ratio one of the worst in the NBA, by far the worst on the team. His, can't quite see all of it, but it's minus 107. That's what he's doing for the year. And that comes with some pretty good offensive performances as of late, which is indicative and more evidence to support my argument that he's a shameless stat pattern. His numbers look good on the surface, but when you look and delve deeper, he is not as impactful as you think. A lot of times his points come either in shameless blowouts where he's still on the floor competing against the second unit, or he's stat padded. A lot of times it comes even if the game is semi-competitive or if they're losing a little bit. Or if they're losing a lot, he'll just pad his numbers, in the fourth quarter to make his numbers look good. And then at the end of the day, people who are box score warriors will say, oh, he did his job. He had 29 points, 9 rebounds, 7 assists. But to naked eye, we all know that 15 of them points, about 6 of those rebounds, and about 4 of them assists came in the second half of the fourth quarter and had no impact on the game whatsoever. If the Lakers were down by 12 when he started stat padding, at the end of the game, they still lost by 10. That's why he's not impactful. And we know he don't impact the flow on the defensive end of the ball anymore. On the defensive end of the game, or the defensive side of the ball, whatever term you want to use, he don't impact at all. Every now and then he might have a game where, especially if it's on national television, like tonight, he might fake the funk and play some, today I should say, he might fake the funk and play some defense. But in reality, on a consistent basis, he doesn't do it. To me, he hasn't really played meaningful defense since the bubble. And then people say, oh, well, what do you expect? He's 39 on the eve of turning 40. Well, Michael Jordan did it. And he did it on one leg. And he did it with more injuries, pound for pound, than LeBron Ramon James. I want to share a stat brought up by the brother Jesse Gladsack. And I already told you about, because I haven't gotten the latest numbers. I'm trying to find them, but I know there's a stat out there where I want to say, like, in his career with, like, I think it's like with 10 seconds to go or something in his career, where he can either have a game time or game winning shot attempt. I think he's like, last time I checked, he was like 18% from the floor in those situations and 12% from three. I suspect those numbers have dropped further because I can't remember the last time this guy hit a game winner. But anyway, he shared a very interesting stat which supports my argument. So this is Jesse Gladsack, one of my subscribers, long-time YouTube. Since LeBron became a Laker, on shots to tie or take the lead with 10 seconds or less in the fourth quarter or overtime, got to add that to it, or overtime, he is now, and he's being sarcastic here, a sizzling 4 for 34. That's 11.8%. That's why, that stat right there, that's why LeBron almost always will try to bulldoze his way to the rim to improve his chances of making said shot. And even against Denver and some of these other clubs, he still bricks those layups. That's why he does that, and he will do everything he can to avoid taking a jump shot. He'll try to avoid taking a jump shot. Now, of course, in certain situations, he's forced to take a three, and usually he bricks, just like he did the other day against the Detroit Pistons. Just like he did a week or so ago against the Atlanta Hawks, even though he had a meaningless 39 points with it. That's what he does, man. The guy's a premier choke artist. And, you know, look, back when I was a LeBron fan, back in the 2000s, I saw that myself. I saw a little bit of it myself. I said, well, you know, look, he's still a phenomenal player. The guy can put up big numbers for 46 out of 48 minutes. He just don't know how to close out games, you know, like the greats do. You know, he just hadn't learned that ability to do that on a consistent level. You know, sometimes he doesn't, you know, make the right basketball play. Although he says he makes the right basketball play every time, you know, because in his mind, you know, he has, in LeBron's mind, he's like, you know, literally the Homelander. Like, he's perfect. He's above human creation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's a meta god. Or a meta human, I should say. Like, he's superhuman, above regular people. He has an IQ of 200. You know what I'm saying? He's a god to women. You know, in his mind, that's what he is. And to compare him to Michael Jordan, in his mind, is laughable. And in our minds, it's the same thing. It's just that we're not laughing at the same thing or laughing for the same reasons that he's laughing. Because it's a joke. In reality, he's a graying, balding, washed up superstar who's being propped up by fake, fraudulent, you know, unimportant, stat padded numbers. I mean, let's be honest. if Michael Jordan really wanted to, instead of averaging 25-5, whatever it was his last year in the NBA, and trying to muscle the Warriors to a winning, at least a 500 record, he went 37-45. If he just, remember, he didn't have AD or some of those guys on his team. I think his best teammate was Jerry Stackhouse last year. If he really wanted to, he could have averaged 27. Hell, he could have led the league in scoring. If his goal was to go out there and yak up 27, 28 shots, he could have led the league in scoring. He could have averaged 32, 33 points a game. I truly believe that. It would have been a terrible 32, 33. He would have shot like 40%, but he could have did it. But he also would have lost probably 10 to 12 more games. But see, Jordan never put himself in front of the team. He never did that. He went out there and did what was needed for the team. If need be, being that he was a primary scorer of the utmost order, if need be, yes, he would go out there and drop 40 or 50. But there were nights when other players were in their grooves, the triangle offense was working to perfection. Other guys were doing their jobs, making shots, playing defense. Everything was moving. The team was a cohesive unit. And those nights, Jordan would have like maybe 15, 16 points, maybe 9 rebounds, maybe 9, 8, 10 assists. I've seen those nights. He didn't always go out there and just score. This guy, he's only concerned about his numbers. Even when he was deferring to AD initially, what was he trying to do? Okay, well, if I'm deferring to AD and I'm only getting 13 points, well, I'm getting a triple-double. I got to get triple-doubles. I got to do something. He's all about himself, bro. And you can't win with a guy like him. He's the problem. This dude at the bottom of the screen, he's the problem. And I predict tonight, matter of fact, let me see, they play the Warriors, right? Who's at home? I think the Lakers are at home, if I'm not mistaken, all right? No, the Warriors are at home. Oh, the Warriors are going to win this one. I'm pretty certain. The Warriors are going to win this game, and Steph Curry is going to clobber them. And I think Buddy Hield's going to have a nice night. Draymond going to be a double agent, and you know how he works. For some reason, his aggression ain't going to be there. He'll be helping AD and them dudes up and shit, you know. But LeBron going to try to play hero ball. He's going to try to stat pad. He's going to cost his team. Because that's what he does. And I'm saying this at 11:23 a.m. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But that's what he does. But anyway, that's all I got to say about two guys.